COVID-19 has brought the world so many issues with the amount of deaths, ICUs, hospitalizations, dividing politics. But let me share with you today how it's affected me, my friends, and my family. What's going on, King's Body fam? As you've seen in today's intro, today is going to be about COVID-19, and we're not talking about the actual virus or quarantine or any of that. But you know what I am going to be talking about today is three things that really affected me during the pandemic, and that was the lack of sleep, the lack of motivation, and finally, the unrealistic expectations that social media put on me. Because what did 99% of us do when our social interaction went away? Well, we went to social media and TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, you name it. All the effects that it used to have on us before about making us think unrealistically, I can't wait to share with you how bad it got for me. So let's dive right into it. Guys, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the lack of sleep that I experienced during the pandemic. So this wasn't something that happened just to me. It also happened to Colonel, and it happened to all of our friends, which probably made it worse for all of us because we would all just stay up late together. But I really think what caused this was the anxiety and the dividing politics that surrounded the whole pandemic, and really the social environment that we were surrounded in here in Canada and in the US. You know, we were always worried about what was going to happen, how is school going to work, how are we going to find jobs, and it just led to us staying up all night. And the thing about it is we weren't sleeping until 2 o'clock in the day. We weren't sleeping until 2, 3 o'clock. What we were doing is we would wake up until 5 o'clock in the morning, or we would be awake until 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I would be up at 9 o'clock. I'd be up at 10 and 11 o'clock. Because when my parents went to work, when my parents got ready for their day, I didn't have anything to do. For me, I'm in university. School was done in April. So at the end of April, when I didn't have to go to class anymore, all I did was stay up late, play games, socialize, and it was really, really bad for me. So let's talk about some solutions to lack of sleep. So what were three solutions? Well, the anxiety thing, I haven't dealt with it. I still have anxiety now. I still get anxious about lots of stuff. You know, my mind goes crazy. I get panic attacks, but you know, that's a whole different story. It doesn't affect my sleep anymore, which is the whole point here. So the things that really helped me was I stopped drinking coffee as soon as I woke up in the morning. So I did some research, and your stress chemical when you wake up in the morning is the highest point of the day. And when you drink coffee, all you're doing is like you're stimulating your whole body, and you're making that stress chemical just go crazy high, and it's just making the whole morning worse for you. And I also stopped drinking coffee at night. So I know you're gonna ask me like, hey, if I like coffee, when am I gonna drink it? So for me, when I'm going to the gym and stuff, I try to drink it 5 hours before I'm gonna go to bed. So if I'm going to bed at midnight, I'm having a coffee at like 6 o'clock in the evening. And the reason that I don't drink coffee, within 5 hours of sleep is because even if you can fall asleep, the caffeine that's in your bloodstream is still keeping you out of the deep sleep cycle, which is the most restorative part, which helps your body grow and develop and heal. So guys, the stimulants, coffee, energy drinks, don't do that stuff like 5 hours within sleep because it's messing you up. And don't do it in the morning because it's just making your stress levels go super high. And the other thing that I did to fix sleep was I started taking cold showers. Now, I know cold showers on mornings helps you stay awake because it makes your body more alert, but there's something about taking a cold shower and then getting in a warm bed after that is just a recipe for amazing sleep. So guys, the second thing to hit me really hard during the pandemic was a lack of motivation. So lack of motivation is kind of self-explanatory, and it was definitely the easiest one to fix. I could have avoided it entirely, but it came from not having a schedule and not having any expectations from myself or from other people. So how did I fix it? I'm not going to spend lots of time explaining it because I feel like everyone has experienced, lack of motivation before. So I fixed it in a super easy way. I took out a pen and paper. For me, I like writing stuff down. And I said, what are 20 to 30 things that I really want to change or I really want to accomplish? So these don't have to be like, oh, I want to lose weight, I want to fix my hair, I want to get a girlfriend. It doesn't have to be stuff like that. It could be if you want it to be, but it doesn't have to. For me, I had financial goals, I had physical goals, I had social goals, I had emotional goals, emotional growth that I wanted to experience, personality traits that I wanted to develop, and I wrote all of these things down. And I said, how am I going to achieve all of these things? And that's how I became motivated. I made a plan based around my goals. So I would take 5 at a time, if it's going to take 2, 3 weeks. So I would take 5 of them and I would say every day I'm going to do one thing or I'm going to do 2 things that work on all 5 of these. So I would have 10 different tasks for the day. If I chose 2 things that would help with all 5, I would have 10 tasks for the day. And now all of a sudden my day has a full slate. I have all of these things that I need to do, all of these things that I have to get done because they align with all the things that I want to accomplish. So that's a super easy way, guys. Just write down your goals and say, what do I want to change? How do I want to look different? How do I want to behave? Maybe your goals are financial like mine were. And then you say, how can I work towards these things? You just write down. If I want to make $10,000, well, maybe I need to get a job. Maybe I need to invest some money. If I want to invest, maybe I need to learn about stocks. Maybe I need to learn about banking. So you have to take all your goals and you have to break them down, make them super micro, and think about the day-to-day accomplishments that would get you to your major goal. So let's run with the $10,000. Well, you need to have some money in the first place, or you need to find a job to make some money. So my first thing would be I have to write a resume. So maybe my first day I write my resume. The second day I start applying for a job. Maybe the whole week I have to spend time applying jobs. Maybe the whole month, however long it takes you. And you say, maybe I need a side business. Maybe I need to do influencing. Maybe I need to do affiliate marketing. But you have to come up with a plan to get some money so that you can start investing, or you can start trading, or you can start doing all of these. You can start reselling. But you need to have money in the first place. So use that as an example. You have to take your macro goal and have a micro action plan. You need to have a day-to-day task that helps you get to the long-term goal. And the last thing I did to fix my lack of motivation was I had social accountability. Now, I wasn't having people force things on me. That's not what I mean. But my closest friends and my loved ones would know the things that I was trying to accomplish. And when your friends and family, if they're supportive, know the things that you want to accomplish, they don't hold you to it in ways where it's like, they're going to discipline you and stuff like that if you don't do that. I hope they don't. But for me, they don't. And that's not what I needed. I just needed people to say, hey, how is this going? If you want to lose weight, how's your weight loss journey going? How's your diet going? What's your diet looking like? And when you have those conversations, if you don't have those things straight in the first place, if they're not fixed in the first place, then in your head, you're like, oh man, I need to fix that. So guys, social accountability. Use your closest friends and your loved ones. Tell them your goals. Tell them the day-to-day plans. And have them hold you accountable. And have them ask you questions that send you back in your mind. They take you aback and they say, hey, you get a chance to opportunity for you to reflect and think, am I going on the right path, and am I doing what I said I was going to do? Hey guys, it's Josh here. And if you didn't make $1 million during the pandemic, then what were you doing? Guys, this is what social media was doing during the pandemic. I was on Instagram, I was on TikTok, and this is the kind of stuff that I was seeing all the time. And I know I just talked about lack of motivation, but there's a huge difference, a massive difference between somebody who won't wake up in the morning because they don't have anything to do, which is what I was doing, and somebody who's saying, let's take a global pandemic, a disaster for the planet, and if you didn't reach your peak, then you suck. Very, very different ideas here. So what I really want to get to here is our ruined perceptions of success, love, and attraction during the pandemic. Now the thing is, this isn't something that happened because of COVID. This is something that happened because of social media, and our dependency and usage of social media just went straight through the roof during the pandemic because none of us were having in-person interactions. So a lot of us just turned to social media. And for me, TikTok was the most terrible platform there was, because it just, when the For You page catches your algorithm or catches what it thinks you want to hear, it goes one video, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And all it's doing is, if you're heartbroken and it goes into a relationship and another one and another one and another one, all it's doing is it's making your emotions worse because it's stacking in the same theme. So for me, TikTok, whatever it was doing, whether it was about fitness or relationships or cars or money or success, all it was doing was like compounding and making all of my situations worse, because all it does is follow a theme. It's numbers, it's an algorithm. That's all it can do, is say, hey, this person seems interested in it. but it doesn't know that you're interested in it because you're sad, or you're interested in it because something happened to you. It just sees that you're giving it attention, and it assumes that it's good attention. So social media was a super big problem for me. And the easiest way for me to fix it was I did a social media like detox. I just deleted the apps for a couple of days. And when I deleted the apps, I went fishing, I went to the beach, I washed my car, I hung out with my family, I called my friends, and I spent time in my own world. And I didn't phase out and become a selfish person, but I just started to think about, like, how does the grass feel on my feet? Why is my brain thinking this way? How does the cold pillow feel on my hair? I really started to get in touch with my senses, with my emotions, with my thoughts, and with my environment. And it just humbles you and brings you back to a more natural place that isn't as artificial as social media is. So, guys, those are the top three things, or the worst three things that happened to me or impacted me during the pandemic. Not sure how you'd like to word it, but yeah, lack of sleep, lack of motivation, and unrealistic expectations for social media. Guys, those things really hurt me during the pandemic. Lack of sleep was really bad. As I was saying before, it took the longest to get over. And lack of motivation was the easiest. You guys saw how simple that those two solutions were, right? And the social media thing, that's something that we've known about for years. So do yourself a favor. Maybe you need a social media detox, but all of us need to reset our expectations and not base it on what we see in movies or what we see our favorite influencers doing on TikTok and Instagram. So guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you're into style, fitness, nutrition, and mindset, please give us a subscribe, give us a follow, check us out on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll see you in the next one.